Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a mom of three, and last year I found out I was pregnant with twins, so this is gonna be a video about that. So I found out I was pregnant September 6th of 2024, but a week later, I felt like I got hit by a truck. I was so nauseous, I could not look at anything and not feel like I needed to throw up. So I was throwing up maybe 5 to 8 times a day, depending if I was able to get anything down. Um, so obviously, I called the doctor. I went in, I got diagnosed with hyperemesis, and I just felt like shit. Yeah. So I was getting IV fluids for maybe like 2 to 3 times a week. Um, I was on a couple of medications like Zofran, Reglan, or metoclopramide. Um, I was on Benadryl when it was really bad, and in total, I think I lost about 30 pounds during my first trimester. I was very fortunate to have my husband and my family looking after me, taking care of me, bringing meals, cooking when I couldn't feel like I could get up. So I'm super grateful for that. So the hyperemesis lasted until about December. Um, During that time, I stopped doing the weekly IV fluids, and I was really happy to be able to eat again because I was hungry, but I wasn't hungry, you know? Like I felt like throwing up all the time, but I couldn't stop thinking about when I wouldn't feel nauseous and what I wanted to eat, you know? Around January 17th, I thought my water broke. I went into L&D and they told me my cervix was short. I got admitted and I had a consult with the high risk doctor who told me to prepare for the worst. We can try a cerclage wire, but there's no guarantee. If the babies come now, they may or may not make it, all that scary stuff. So I was pretty worried. I had a lot of anxiety during that time. I was panicking, but the same day the cerclage was put in, I was able to make it home. Originally, we were planning on maybe having the baby shower in the hospital, but we ended up having it at this hall. Had a good time. So nearing the end of my pregnancy, I started getting really itchy around my stomach, and like the inside of my thighs and on my arms. I wasn't super concerned about it because I have a history of eczema, so I was just like, oh, maybe the pregnancy is making my eczema act up or whatever. But I was talking to my cousin who's a nurse, and she was like, maybe you should go get tested for cholestasis because that's something that can happen during pregnancy. So I went to my OB and we tested me for it, and I totally did have cholestasis. So my OB recommended me to be induced sooner just to reduce complications. So we planned the induction for April 7th. I was really swollen. I looked a little bit like the Michelin Man. I was ready to give birth and not be pregnant anymore. We got to the hospital about 6 p.m.
Hi.
And I did have a birth plan in place. I was planning for a medicated birth. So I did get the epidural, I got drugs. So after they took out my cerclage, I was progressing pretty quickly. I got to 5 centimeters pretty quickly. And over here you can see I'm just sort of loaded off of the drugs, off that pregnancy high. I really felt like doing my makeup, so I started doing my makeup and talking nonsense. I was ready to get these babies out.
They broke my water around 12:30 a.m.
She's knocked out.
I was dilating, having a lot of contractions.
Oh my gosh. Contracting. Baby's head is like right there. Let's get this show on the road.
And I was about 9 centimeters 3 p.m. the next day, we went to the OR. That was about 10 p.m. the same day. At about 10:08, baby A came out, and at about 10:17, baby B arrived in the world. Then at about 10:20, I delivered my placenta. And after the placenta came out, all hell sort of broke loose. I started hemorrhaging. The doctor told the staff to be quiet. I was just lying there on the operating table like, what is going on? What's happening? Are my babies okay? Is everything okay? I started seeing stars, feeling lightheaded. The doctor told my husband to get out of the OR. Everyone started looking really serious. I remember turning to the anesthesiologist and being like, am I dying? And he just sort of told me, we're doing everything we can right now, just stay calm. They went ahead and gave me an IM shot of, I don't know, but it made me super nauseous immediately, and I threw up a lot. I almost fell off the table throwing up. And then shortly after that, the doctor seemed to be more relaxed, and I was told that the bleeding stopped, and off I went. And I felt like I was gonna pass out, so they checked my blood. I had anemia, obviously, lost a lot of blood. So I got some blood transfusions and I felt immediately better. After everything, finding out I was pregnant, finding out it was twins, the nausea, the vomiting, the cerclage wire, thinking I was dying in the OR, to the moment that finally arrived, it was definitely a journey in all sense of the word. And I couldn't have done it without the love and support from my family, so I'm eternally grateful for them. And I'm so glad I could share my journey with you. Let me know if you have any questions about being a twin mom, being a mom of 3, or just about anything really. You can drop it down below. Thank you for your time.